What's going on, everybody? We are back. It's your friend Will. This is the Memory Lapse. We're coming to you live from the darkness here. This winter sun doesn't come up until late. That's not going to stop us from recording. And we have a cool one for you all. So we were playing this a little bit yesterday, and I even started recording, and my computer blue screen and I lost the run. So let's hope it doesn't happen this time. But this is a Gates deck. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it plays 12 Gates plus Plaza of Harmony and Breeding Pool in Hinterland Harbor. So it's essentially a blue-green splash red deck. I'm playing Gatebreaker Ram as like an early beater / potential win condition against the more fair decks. But then Banefire, Hydroid Krasis, and Mass Manipulation are your usual win conditions. And you've got ramp, you've got a sweeper, you've got draw. You've got draw and gain life, more ramp. So this deck looks pretty bad, I would think, on paper, but actually plays really well. And then I put together a sideboard because the list I found was only for best of one. So 6 counter spells, some more life gain, Carnage Tyrants, and another Banefire. So this is not really completely thought out. I was more just thinking about, well, some matchups we're going to want to take out the sweeper and maybe the mass manipulation. So it's going to be nice to have some counter spells and untargetable stuff and Banefire, because we also might want to take out like Gatebreaker Ram against some decks, so hard to say. And then the Peacemakers are for red, but let's just get into it so you can see this deck in action. And this was posted to the Game Podcast Discord by Brian Gottlieb, one of the 2 hosts of the podcast. And I quite like it. I don't know where he got the build, if he came up with it himself or saw someone else playing it, but we're just going to take it right into competitive constructed here, and of course we're starting off against our enemy. Take the play. This is a totally keepable hand. More or less exactly what we want. Growth Spiral kind of makes up for the fact that you are playing almost all your lands into play tapped. This is not ideal. Kind of a tough choice, I think, for them. Depending on how aggressive they are, they might take the gates. Depending on how much they want to impede us, they might take the Growth Spiral. So whichever one they pick might tell us a little bit about their hand and the type of deck they're playing. Alright, so they're going to try to kill us. So next turn we'll get to play a nice big ram. Death Baron. You got it. This will come in handy. Fair enough. I guess the question is, do we cast this here? I think so. Krasis for 3 is not miserable. I think we'd prefer a Krasis for 4, so it's going to be worth it digging one turn. Yeah. This also turns on Mass Manipulation for 1, so now we're working towards a bigger Mass Manipulation. Other than Duress, I don't think their deck is going to have any way to interact with that. Okay. So they're playing like a budget kind of... they might even be playing off the black starter deck. Wow, that's a nice one from them. There goes our Krasis. Ooh, but we top decked 1, so let's do it for 4. Circuitous Route's gonna push us into Mass Nip for 2. They can only have so much, right? So much removal. Oh, so it's drawing cards. Grab 2 more gates here. And yeah, let's take Guild Summit as a way to reload. Now next turn we can decide between drawing or just mass manipulating their board. Probably play the mass manipulation here. And then draw after that. They might just scoop to this mass manipulation. Yeah, so this takes their whole board. Thank you very much. Yeah, they're like, what? This is actually quite a beating, if you can do it for more than 1. This card, I just realized, really does not help us, because the only way we can cast it is off of the gift, but I thought for a second that we had just all the colors covered, and we do not. Alright, so against them, is there any changes we even really want to make? Probably not. I think we're just fine as is. They're kind of a budget deck, so... Alright, we can keep this. We can just use these growth spirals to put gates into play. Unless they have an intent, like much faster draw, yeah. Okay, they are just playing a budget deck, so we're not sweating it. Guess we just gift here. Let's keep building up mana. Gain life. Double sweeper. These sweepers only are worth 1 right now, so they're awkwardly not good enough. But with the gate, they're going to be good enough. So let's go ahead and do the first one. And they get a 2/2 token, that's okay. If we draw a land here, nope. I guess we could dig. Oh, they don't want us digging here. There we go. That into play. Get a big ram down, big-ish. The Ram is nice because it's always 2 bigger than the Gates Ablaze. It's a base 2/2. Alright, they spent their turn doing that, and we're just going to play Krasis for 4 here. Our nice little Mole Drifter. Kind of want them to add more to the board before we Gates Ablaze. I guess we'll do it since they're about to destroy our stuff anyways. And now we're setting up for a much bigger Krasis. Once you start chaining the Krasises together, I mean, opponent's quality of deck or not, once you start chaining them, it's pretty tough for people to get back in it. So we have a Krasis for 6 here. If we wait one more turn, we can go for 8. So let's do that. Maybe greedy, because we know they have things like Divest. But, okay, looks like we're safe. Alright. So we get a double Mole Drifter. Probably can't lose from this point. A fully restocked hand. That's pretty good. This does not have Death Touch, right? They're gonna give it Death Touch? They're just trying to make it into a token. Alright, Massive Nip is like gotta be the nail in the coffin here for them. But we'll just play out all our stuff here. All right. Alright, well, that's a pretty good showing against a deck that didn't put a ton of pressure on us. Too bad we can't change our list up, now that we realize that we really can't cast that Peacekeeper in the sideboard. I just wanted something that was like a body that could gain life. We'll have to figure something else out. But there's really not much life gaining green these days, other than what we have. Most of it's in white, so... This we can kind of keep. It's a little gate light, but hopefully the double growth spiral helps. Oh, this is going to be a Thought Erasure deck. I'm a fan of doing this on their turn to represent like a counterspell. Huh. I think we're happy to just keep ramping here off the growth spirals and not play into like their own wrath, or sorry, their own counter magic. Probably just Krasis for 4 here is pretty good. Keep moving us through the deck. We need to find some stuff. Guild Summit's a nice one for next turn. We can play Guild Summit, Gatebreaker Ram, and a Guildgate to start cantripping. Have the Golden Demise. In case they're actually looking for land. The card does not interact with us very much. Alright. Maybe we just double Guild Summit here. No, I think it's going to be Guild Summit, Ram. Draw. We're just gonna play for the Banefire win, I guess. We can go long enough. Illustrator Born's kind of a beating, but getting back Krasis doesn't do very much, and getting back the 2/2 doesn't do very much. So it's only good against us in that it's removal. Like, yeah, I guess we actually just want them to have the more expensive one. Totally fine. So now we get to draw a shitload of cards this turn. Decline. So that draws us to Circuitous Route, draws us 4. So overall, these are like pretty low value Illustrator Borns for them. And we refill our hand. We're not really at risk of losing. We can try to steal their Karn. Goodbye, Gift of Paradise. So we have a mass manipulation for 3. If they tap out for anything to try to like win. We can probably just do it for 2. Disinformation campaign. That'll get the other gift. Alright, so yeah, I guess we try to do mass manipulation for 2 first and see what happens. Sabotage. Maybe I should have gone for the Ram first. Because there's a chance they would have pulled the trigger, countered the Ram. It just depends on what's in their hand. Although now they can just like minus and back the contempt. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. But if they spend this 4 mana, then if they play contempt and replay Disinfo Campaign, we can mass manip. All right. We are getting low on cards. This card does not work well. So how many sabotages have we seen? 3? Just 2? What are we up to in land-wise? 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15. So we can go for a Gates Ablaze. We kind of don't need the uncountable draw because we have it. So do this for 2. It's countered. All we have to do is connect once. Seems like unlikely. Still have 2 Krasis left in the deck too. It's at this point in the game where actually Krasis only drawing half the cards is good. So you can make it huge and not really risk decking yourself. Like I can make it for 10 and only draw 5. What are they getting here? Okay, so I can like put back a guild summit if I want to. This is hard to keep up with. You. Targeting you. What? Connects? So Banefire being uncounterable, there's not really much they can do about it, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I can do it for 15, so even if they gain 2, I guess it's good to, we should wait one more turn. Is there any way that they can gain like 6 life? I don't think so. Alright, let's just go for it. Alright, got him. So in this matchup, probably don't need the Gates Ablaze. Probably don't need the mass manipulation. We can keep one maybe and just bring in the Negates and the Stroke. I think the Rams are actually fine. We could cut them. Actually, we can cut them and keep like the mass manip. Add in a Banefire and keep one Gates Ablaze. I think we don't want to bring in Carnage Tyrant and stuff. We don't want to make their Ellis Reborns any better. Like we don't want them bringing back a Carnage Tyrant. So maybe we play it like this and just go for a big Banefire or mass manipulation win. So that means we're signing up for a long game here. Either a quick concede or a long win. I'm assuming they're going to bring in all sorts of like thought erasures and duresses. This is nice, so we can shock this and get the Simic Guildgate into play. We may have to Banefire that. That's a bummer. Just don't see us winning through that card ever connecting. Alright, Breeding Pool's a nice catch. And let's draw. Alright, so now we're just kind of working our way to our first Krasis. Even if it gets countered, we get the bump, the draw. They're probably going to take it now, they'll strip it away. Because I think this rate's way higher than everything else in our hand. Yep. But Guild Summit's going to keep us in this game. We have 10 more gates in our deck. They're all going to just cantrip. Or better if we find a second Guild Summit. Alright. I had 1 mana of any type of gate can produce, so this actually makes this tap for anything. It's not hard cast an Ellis Reborn here. Or they're going to disinfo us with backup mana. They're really thinking now. Unmoored Ego. Interesting to see if they name Krasis or Banefire here. I'm guessing Banefire, because they probably think that they can beat the Krasis. Yep, so they get 1. It's definitely going to make this game harder. But they're tapping out. Drawing Krasis here is nice. I think we just make a 5/5. Yep. So like we said, that's not really that good against us. Do we get to play 2 of these? No. Negate's a nice one, we'll keep that. That's okay. Yeah, I'd much rather just get this Circuitous Route off. Yeah, I'll gladly chain these out. Oh, right. Oh. Let's hope we draw some more negates. So let's shimmer first and find some more permission, maybe. Disdainful Stroke's probably good. Krasis will be good. So now if they go for an Eldest Reborn, we can stroke it. And as long as they don't have Negate. Nice. Get to beat them with their own card. Let's see. So we want to hold up 2 for Negate, and maybe we draw another. So we want to leave up 4 mana, 6 mana, maybe. So that means we can Krasis for 2, 4, 6. We want to hold up 6 mana. So 2, 6, 8, 9. So Krasis for 7. Yeah, let's just do Krasis for 9. We have a healthy 16 cards left. Worth it to fight over these, because every hit we get is quite good. Oh, does that actually kill this? Seems it does. I think we got, they were all in like the bottom 15, but we got them. Alright, so there's not much they can draw here. This game. We got them even though they took the Banefires out. I don't know how much you were keeping track at home, but I feel like Guild Summit drew us a lot of cards those games. A lot of cards. So it's 2-0, 2-0. And that's a good place to stop the video. So, I'm going to make some coffee, then we'll be back to start the next one. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is really sweet. Open to suggestions on what the sideboard should look like. Obviously, Peacemaker's not right, so let's see if we like gain life. Let me take off white. I mean, Highland Game, Deathgorge Scavenger kind of does it. If it enters the battlefield kicked, gain 10. How much does that cost though? 7. So 7 mana, gain 10 is kind of expensive. Palaka Worm maybe, but also 7 mana. We need something that we can cast against. We need something that we can cast against these fast decks. Because we already have the Plaza of Harmony and the gift, but sometimes there's a little bit more is needed. I'll have to think about it. I mean, I could see something like this being reasonable. This one dies too quickly to Chain Whirler. This might be reasonable too, just as a 2/3 that can block, that you can kick later. So maybe Crows and Druid, as funny as that sounds. Alright, well, that's it for this one. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to follow the Twitch channel for when we stream on weekends, etc. And I'll see you all soon in the next video.